everybody and welcome to Let's Cook. Today we are going to be making a churro cake. So I'm going to show you what we need and then let's get started. Okay, so for our materials today, I'm going to tell you how to get them all by our measuring spoons, the tablespoons and teaspoons. If you don't have them at home, it's okay. You can use a scale like this because I will also give you the gram measurements. So for our materials, we are going to need some flour. You need 4 tablespoons of flour. So that's about 36 grams of flour. You also need some sugar. You need about 2 tablespoons or 27 grams of sugar. You'll also need some baking powder. This is only 1/8 of a teaspoon, so it's not even a gram. It's a little hard to measure, but it's a very, very small amount of baking powder. And baking soda is only a 1/16 of a teaspoon, so very, very small amount. Once again, it's less than a gram, so it's hard to tell you how much it is, but it's a very, very small amount. You will also need some cinnamon. For this, you will need 1 teaspoon or 2 grams of cinnamon. You will also need some milk. For your milk, you need about 3 tablespoons or 54 grams of milk. And you need some oil. Now, I recommend using a flavorless oil like canola or vegetable oil. If you use olive oil, it could make your churro taste a little bit kind of pizza-y almost because of the olive flavor. So something like a canola oil is going to work a lot better for you. And you want a tablespoon or about 15 grams of that. You will also need some chocolate because a real churro would come with a side of chocolate. So we're going to put some chocolate inside of our churro cake. So you need about a tablespoon, just 12 grams of chocolate. You can have it in kind of cubed up like this. And then on the top of your churro, you're going to want a little bit more sugar and a little bit more cinnamon. So that's kind of up to you how much you want. I've got about a teaspoon of sugar and a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon in here. You can decide how much you want on the top, it's okay. So that's it for our ingredients. For materials, you're going to need 1 microwavable mug and a fork. And of course, like I said, the measuring spoon so that you can get all of your correct sizes. So we are ready to get started. Okay, so let's get started on mixing. So the first thing you're going to do is mix all of your dry ingredients. So you're going to put your flour and your sugar and your baking powder and baking soda and cinnamon. You're going to put all of them together into your mug. And remember, you don't need to use all of these bowls like me. I just did that so it's easier to show you guys. You can just put it straight into the mug when you're cooking. So now that we've got all of that in there, we're just going to stir it all up so that it's all mixed together nicely. And that way your cinnamon is spread evenly through all of your flour. You don't want big pockets of cinnamon because that cinnamon is really, really yummy, but if you have too much of it, it's kind of hard to eat. So stir that up nice and good. Great. And now to this, we are just going to add our wet ingredients. So we're going to put our milk and our oil into this same mug. And you're just going to stir that up. So you just want to stir until it makes a nice little batter. You don't want any more dry parts. You don't want to see any of that flour or that sugar sticking out. All right, good. I'm not really seeing any more of those dry parts, so I think we're pretty well mixed now. So now we're just going to take our chocolate and we're just going to put it down right into the middle, and that way when it bakes, when we cut it open, there'll be some chocolate oozing out of the middle of the cake and it's going to be really yummy. Just going to push that down in there. Make sure it's all covered by the batter. There you go. And that's it for the stirring. It's really simple. So now we're just going to cook it. Okay, so so now it's time to put our cake into the microwave. So for my microwave, I'm going to start at 45 seconds and then check to see how it is. So remember, if you go for too long, you can easily burn your cake. So you want to go in small amounts. So we're going to start with 45 seconds, see how we're doing, and then add a little bit time if we need to. So first 45 seconds. So we've got our little churro cake out of the microwave oven, and so like I said, we saved a little bit of the cinnamon and sugar just to put on top, and this is because a real churro has some cinnamon and sugar all over the outside of it, right? So just kind of to match that, we're going to take just a little bit and we're going to sprinkle it over the top. There we go. And the reason we know that our cake is done is I'm sitting here, I'm patting it, and it kind of jiggles a little bit. So that means it is fully cooked, and none of it is coming back up on my spoon. So there's no batter that's still left here after I hit it. So we're completely done. We've added a little bit of cinnamon and sugar to the top. I'm not gonna add any more, I think that's enough. So there we go. Let's see what it looks like inside with that chocolate. And so our chocolate kind of went down to the bottom. So if you can see there's some chocolate there on the bottom. And it looks really, really good. So I'm excited to eat this later. So I hope that you guys try to make this at home. It's actually really, really simple to make. So please make it. And if you do, send us some pictures. We'd love to see what yours came out like. And we'll post them up on our homepage for everybody to look at and make comments. So thank you very much for joining us today. And we will see you again next time. Bye-bye.